She didn't look lost. That's what people who say they saw Song Hye Kyo in Paris keep repeating. According to multiple accounts shared afterward, she wasn't wandering, sightseeing, or casually browsing. She was walking with intention, down a narrow Paris street known not for tourist traffic, but for private ateliers and appointment-only fashion houses. This wasn't central Paris. This wasn't Fashion Week chaos. This was quiet. Witnesses say she arrived calmly, dressed simply, sunglasses on, moving without urgency. No visible entourage. No dramatic styling. No cameras following her. Just someone who appeared to know exactly where she was headed. And then someone noticed where she was. Fans familiar with Paris fashion districts quickly identified the location. The boutique closest to where she was allegedly seen isn't known for red carpet gowns or seasonal collections. It specializes almost exclusively in wedding and ceremonial designs. The kind of place that doesn't advertise. The kind of place that doesn't welcome walk-ins. That detail changed the story immediately. At first, the sightings were shared quietly. Small fan accounts. Low engagement. No sensational captions. Just people saying, "I think I saw her," followed by descriptions that lined up a little too well to ignore. She was calm. She wasn't rushed. She didn't look like she was there for work. No photos surfaced. That alone raised eyebrows. In 2025, the absence of images can be louder than their presence. Fans speculated that privacy protocols may have been in place, something not uncommon for boutiques in that area when high-profile clients are expected. What made the situation more intriguing was timing. Song Hye Kyo had no publicly announced reason to be in Paris. No confirmed fashion event. No brand appearance. No filming schedule tied to France. Her agency had made no announcements before or after the alleged sighting. That's when fans began asking questions. Why Paris? Why quietly? Why a wedding designer district? Then another detail resurfaced, one that had been circulating separately, until someone placed the timelines side by side. Lee Ho had also been allegedly seen in Paris. Different location. Different day. Same city. According to separate fan reports, he was spotted exiting a private hotel near the Seine, a hotel frequently used by international actors and executives who prioritize discretion. Again, no photos. Just brief recognition by people who didn't expect to see him there. The overlap wasn't dramatic. It was subtle. But for fans who follow celebrity movement patterns, subtlety is often where the real stories live. Neither star had a public schedule explaining their presence. Neither posted from Paris. Neither acknowledged the city afterward. Fans didn't jump to conclusions immediately. In fact, many initially dismissed the coincidence. Paris is a global hub. Celebrities pass through constantly. But the more fans examined the details, the harder it became to write off entirely. The timing was too clean. The silence too consistent. The location too specific. Paris holds a unique position in Korean celebrity culture. It's one of the few cities where A-list stars can move freely without triggering immediate media frenzy. It's familiar, international, and structured for privacy. When Korean celebrities want space, real space, Paris is often where they go. Fans began revisiting older interviews, not as proof, but as context. Song Hye Kyo has spoken openly in recent years about entering a phase of life where intention matters more than expectation. Where decisions are made privately, not performatively. Lee Ho, in separate interviews, has echoed similar sentiments. Talking about patience. Timing. Protecting what matters beyond work. The alignment felt deliberate. Then came the industry response, or lack of one. No agency clarification. No denial. No, she was there for business explanation. In Korean entertainment, silence doesn't confirm rumors. But it often indicates there's nothing urgent to correct. When false narratives gain traction, agencies move quickly. When stories touch on personal matters that aren't meant for public consumption, silence is often the chosen strategy. Fans notice something else too. After the alleged Paris sightings, both stars returned to public view looking noticeably composed. Not defensive. Not evasive. Just calm. As if nothing needed explanation. Song Hye Kyo's demeanor felt settled. Lee Min-ho's tone felt grounded. Neither addressed the chatter. Neither acknowledged Paris. And that restraint only deepened curiosity. The wedding designer detail refused to fade. Not because fans believed a wedding was imminent, but because it suggested something new, a shift, a preparation, a conversation happening quietly rather than an announcement waiting to happen. By the end of the week, the narrative had solidified. Not as a claim. Not as confirmation. But as a shared understanding among fans that something meaningful might be unfolding, intentionally, privately, and far from the spotlight. Paris, once again, had become the backdrop. As days passed, fans began looking beyond the initial sightings and toward what happened next. The first thing they noticed was behavior. Song Hye Kyo's public appearances following the alleged Paris trip carried a different energy. She appeared lighter. More assured. Interviews focused less on external validation and more on internal alignment. When asked about work, she spoke about choosing projects that reflect where she is now, not where she used to be. Lee Min-ho's public presence showed a similar shift. He spoke calmly, without urgency, emphasizing long-term perspective rather than immediate goals. Fans interpreted this not as coincidence, but as synchronicity. The industry remained quiet. No clarifications. No corrections. No redirection. Entertainment reporters reportedly reached out to agencies, but no statements were issued. The story was allowed to exist, not endorsed, not denied. Fans began contextualizing what that meant. In Korean entertainment, agencies are highly sensitive to narratives that could damage an artist's image. When stories are untrue or harmful, responses are swift. When stories involve personal matters that aren't meant to be public, silence is often deliberate. That silence gave fans room to reflect. The wedding designer location remained central to speculation. Fans researched the atelier's history, noting how appointments are often booked months in advance and conducted discreetly. Celebrity clients are rarely photographed, and confidentiality is standard. Again, no one claimed Song Hye Kyo entered the shop. But proximity alone carried weight. Fans emphasized restraint. Many discouraged invasive speculation. They reminded each other that admiration doesn't equal access. That privacy should be respected, especially when nothing has been confirmed. Yet the story persisted, not because of hype, but because of coherence. Every detail aligned. The timing. The city. The silence. The demeanor afterward. What fans were reacting to wasn't romance, it was intentional living. Two stars, both established, both experienced with scrutiny, choosing discretion in an industry that profits from exposure. Paris offered something rare, space. Space to think. Space to decide. Space to exist without explanation. Whether the visit marked preparation for something new or simply a private chapter that will never be explained, fans agreed on one thing. This didn't feel accidental. And until either star chooses to speak, if they ever do, Paris will remain a quiet chapter, noticed but unfinished. Not everything meaningful is announced. Not every decision is shared. Some moments are lived, deliberately, quietly, and far from the spotlight. And according to those who say they saw them, that's exactly what happened in Paris.